Welcome back to Science in Sleeping. It's always wonderful to have you here tonight. We're drifting gently into one of the most soothing scientific journeys of all, the calm, quiet beauty of Earth's climate, the steady breath of our planet, the invisible rhythms that shape the air we breathe, and the tranquil balance that keeps life in harmony. As you settle into bed, let your body soften into the mattress. Let your shoulders drop, let your jaw unclench, and let your breathing fall into a slow, steady rhythm. You've arrived in the right place. This is your time to unwind, to release, and to rest. Here at Science in Sleeping, we explore the hidden wonders of our universe in a way that soothes the mind. You might listen to learn, or simply to let your thoughts fade into the background. Either way, you're safe, and you're welcome here. I know it's late, and perhaps you've had a long day. Maybe your mind is still busy thinking about tomorrow, but you don't need to do anything right now. No plans, no pressure, just listen. You don't even have to remember any of this. Your subconscious will hold what it needs, and the rest will drift away like clouds dissolving into night air. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you listening from tonight? Maybe you're somewhere warm and tropical, or maybe it's winter where you are, and the air is cool and still. Wherever you are, imagine that the earth beneath you is breathing with you. Inhale and feel the quiet pull of gravity holding you close. Exhale and release the weight of your thoughts. We are all connected through this same air, this same climate, a gentle, ancient rhythm that whispers across oceans, forests, and cities. Tonight, we'll explore the science of calm that hides in the patterns of weather, the way sunlight dances on ocean waves, how air currents glide silently from pole to pole, and how temperature, moisture, and wind create the gentle balance that makes Earth feel alive. We'll move slowly, following the rhythm of the planet, and as we go, you may notice your thoughts begin to drift. That's perfectly fine. You're not here to focus, you're here to float. Let my voice become part of the background, a gentle stream of sound guiding you toward deeper rest. In this space, there's nothing to achieve, nothing to fix, nothing to plan. You've done enough for today. The world can wait. Now it's time to let your mind wander through the beauty of science, not as a lesson, but as a lullaby, a soft reminder that the world is vast, intelligent, and endlessly kind. So, if you haven't already, dim the lights. Turn your screen brightness low. Take one more slow breath in, and a long, gentle breath out. You're here, you're safe, and you are exactly where you need to be. Now settle in, let the day fall away, and together, let's begin our calm exploration of Earth's quiet climate, the science that soothes, the patterns that breathe, and the harmony that helps you drift peacefully into sleep. Have you ever wondered how the air outside your window knows when to turn warm or cool? How the wind seems to carry moods, gentle one day, restless the next, or how, no matter where you are, there's always a soft, invisible motion wrapping around you. That invisible ocean above us, made of air and light and quiet energy, never sleeps. Even when we close our eyes, the atmosphere keeps breathing for us, carrying whispers from one corner of the planet to another. And tonight, as you drift into rest, we'll follow that rhythm, learning how the earth itself exhales. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a calm sea just before sunrise. The air is still, holding its breath, painted with the faintest shade of silver blue. The horizon hums with quiet potential, like the world is waiting for something gentle to begin. You can feel the cool air brushing against your skin. Fresh and smooth, that's the breath of the planet. The first exhale of morning. Each molecule of that air has been everywhere, touching mountains, drifting over forests, gliding across deserts. And now, it's here with you. You inhale, and in that single breath, you hold a small piece of the entire world. The atmosphere, though invisible, is one of the most elegant systems in nature. It's like a blanket made of 5 thin layers, each one with its own rhythm. Closest to you is the troposphere, the cozy layer where all weather happens. It's where clouds form, rain falls, and winds carry the scent of seasons. Above that, the stratosphere holds the ozone, our planet's sunshade. Then comes the mesosphere, where meteors softly burn before they ever reach us. The thermosphere stretches into space, thin and wild, and beyond it, the exosphere, where air begins to dissolve into the infinite. Each layer of air is connected, constantly exchanging warmth, energy, and moisture. It's a silent ballet of balance. The sunlight touches the ocean, warming its surface, and the ocean answers by sending vapor into the sky. That vapor forms clouds, soft castles of air that drift and dissolve. They release rain to rivers and lakes, which then return to the sea. A perfect, endless loop of giving and returning. Every droplet, every shift of breeze is part of this great breathing system. Did you know that the air above you right now might have once passed over the Himalayas or across the Arctic, brushing past polar bears and icy peaks? It could have drifted through the Sahara, carrying grains of sand thousands of miles. The air is a traveler, an ancient messenger, connecting all living things. When you take a slow breath, you are sharing the same air that once cooled ancient forests, the same air dinosaurs might have exhaled, the same air that fills the lungs of a sleeping whale deep beneath the ocean surface. We're all joined by this invisible thread, the gentle pulse of climate. The climate isn't just weather. It's the memory of the planet. It remembers how sunlight feels, how oceans move, how forests breathe. It adjusts itself, slowly and gracefully, balancing what the earth gives and what it receives. Sometimes it shifts a little warmer here, a little cooler there, but always it seeks harmony, just like you do when you lie down to rest. Your body adjusts, cooling slightly, breathing deeply, seeking the perfect balance for sleep. The earth does the same, through winds and currents and clouds. One of the most calming patterns in the climate is the gentle cycle of day and night. When the sun rises, the ground warms, the air stirs, and when night falls, everything slows. The air becomes still, heavier with cool moisture. The planet exhales heat into the dark. That cooling, that exhale, is what you're feeling now, the nightly sigh of Earth itself. Each evening, the world tucks itself in, wrapping you in the same quiet rhythm it has followed for billions of years. And if you could zoom out, far beyond the clouds, you'd see something beautiful. Waves of energy flowing around the globe. They move like soft ribbons of silk, shimmering through the upper atmosphere, carrying warmth from the tropics toward the poles and coolness back toward the equator. It's a dance of equilibrium, a conversation of balance. the same pattern that helps coral reefs grow, crops flourish, and the seasons keep their gentle pace. The science of this is fascinating. When sunlight hits the earth, about half of it is absorbed by the surface-warming rocks, water, and soil. The rest bounces back as infrared light. Greenhouse gases, like carbon dioxide and water vapor, gently trap some of that warmth, keeping our nights from freezing. It's not danger, it's design. Without this thin balance, Earth would be far too cold to sustain life. It's a natural comforter, the planet's way of keeping itself warm and kind. As you breathe now, your body is also balancing heat, inhaling cooler air, exhaling warmth. Your breath mirrors the planet's. Your body, like Earth, has its own internal climate, protecting and maintaining harmony. The more you relax, the more efficient that balance becomes. Your temperature drops just slightly, your heartbeat slows. Your body begins to echo the same rhythm as the atmosphere outside your window, quiet, steady, peaceful. There's something deeply poetic about how the science of climate reflects the science of being human. We are miniature planets, breathing in rhythm with the universe. We warm, we cool, we adapt. We carry storms and calm skies inside us, and when we rest, we return to that natural balance, our own peaceful weather. If you listen closely now, you might notice the soft sounds around you, maybe a distant hum, or the faint sigh of wind through your room. That sound is part of the same air that carries stories across continents. It's the song of equilibrium, soft, endless, familiar. Every time you breathe, you are participating in the same elegant system that sustains forests, oceans, and clouds. There is no separation between you and the planet, only rhythm, and in that rhythm there is peace. Because to understand the climate, even gently, is to realize how deeply the world already takes care of you. Every breeze is a reminder that the earth knows how to balance. Every cool night is proof that it knows how to rest. And every slow breath you take is your body's way of saying, I belong here. I am safe. I am part of the calm. So, as we move forward into the next part of our journey, let the image of that soft, breathing planet stay with you. The quiet ocean of air that holds you as you drift. And in the next module, we'll follow this rhythm deeper into the dance between oceans and sky, where waves, winds, and warmth create a lullaby of balance. A song that's been playing since the very first dawn. Have you ever wondered why the ocean never sleeps? Why it keeps moving, even under the calmest sky? Or how it seems to know exactly when to rise and when to rest? Sometimes we look at the sea and see only the surface, blue and quiet, but beneath that calmness, there's a secret conversation happening. A vast whisper that connects the poles to the equator, the deep abyss to the clouds above your head. The ocean is not just water, it is memory, energy, and emotion combined. And tonight, as you drift toward sleep, we'll follow that whisper into the heart of the world's rhythm. Imagine standing at the edge of a moonlit shore, the sand cool beneath your feet, the sound of the waves rolling in like deep, slow breathing. The moon hangs low over the horizon, pulling the tide gently toward itself. You can almost feel the ocean responding like a heartbeat synced with the heavens. Each wave is part of a pulse, each ripple a note in an ancient song that never stops playing. The air smells faintly of salt and night, and as you stand there, the world feels alive but perfectly still at the same time. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet. It's the Earth's lungs, heart, and nervous system all at once. Every current that flows beneath the surface is a highway of heat, nutrients, and balance. Did you know that a single drop of seawater holds millions of microscopic life forms, tiny organisms that help create the very air you breathe, each one drifting with the waves, glowing faintly under moonlight like stars beneath the surface? These invisible beings, called phytoplankton, are the quiet caretakers of our atmosphere. They absorb carbon dioxide, release oxygen, and stabilize the climate, all while dancing unseen in the dark. So when you breathe deeply tonight, remember, part of that breath was made by the ocean itself, beneath the surface. Great rivers of warmth travel through the sea. This vast motion is called the thermaline circulation. It's a slow, silent current driven by differences in temperature and salt. In the warm waters of the tropics, the ocean gathers heat and sends it northward. When it reaches colder regions, the water cools, becomes heavier, and sinks into the depths. From there, it begins a long, ghost-like journey back toward the equator. It's the planet's circulatory system, a liquid heart that beats once every 1,000 years. The water you see glimmering under the moon tonight may someday flow beneath Antarctic ice. It may return in a century, warmer, lighter, reborn as a wave on another shore. Every night, when the surface of the sea cools, something magical happens. Heat stored during the day begins to rise into the air. The ocean breathes out warmth, and that warmth becomes clouds, soft travelers that wander across continents. When they release rain, they return that same water back to rivers, to forests, to you. It's a continuous act of kindness, water giving itself endlessly, cycling between form and formlessness, ocean to sky, sky to land, land to river, river to sea. It's a rhythm so old and perfect that every creature alive depends on it. If you were to sink beneath the waves, you'd enter a new world, one filled with strange silence. In the deep twilight zone, sunlight fades to blue ghosts, fish glide like whispers, their bodies reflecting flickers of light, and deeper still, in the black abyss, the water becomes heavy and still. Here, warmth from the surface can take centuries to arrive, yet even here, in total darkness, life exists, glowing softly in bioluminescent pulses. Each flash of light, a heartbeat, a signal, a language older than the stars. It reminds us that even in the quietest depths, the planet never truly sleeps. The ocean doesn't just move water, it moves energy. When storms form, they draw their strength from the sea's stored heat. The air churns, clouds rise, and the ocean releases some of its tension. Then, after the storm passes, the water calms again. The waves flatten, and a hush returns. It's as if the planet exhales, letting go of its own thoughts. Just like your mind after a long day, the ocean teaches us that turbulence is temporary, that peace always returns when energy finds balance again. Did you know that the sound of ocean waves can lower your heart rate? Researchers have discovered that listening to the rhythm of waves mimics the natural pattern of breathing during deep sleep. Inhale slowly, exhale gently, just like the sea, rising and falling. That's why the sound of water feels so deeply comforting. It matches the pattern your body recognizes as safety. You and the ocean are, in a way, breathing together. There's another secret the ocean keeps. It holds more heat than the atmosphere and land combined. It acts like a grand memory bank, storing warmth during summer and slowly releasing it through the seasons. This keeps our planet stable. Without this watery memory, nights would freeze and days would burn. The ocean is the guardian of comfort, and yet we often forget it's there, quietly maintaining the conditions that let us rest even now as you lie here. The same ocean currents that shaped continents continue their eternal drift, thousands of miles away, unseen yet deeply connected to the breath you take. When you close your eyes tonight, imagine sinking slowly into the heart of the sea, not with fear, but with fascination. Imagine the water around you glowing faintly with soft blue light, every molecule humming with ancient wisdom. You are surrounded by warmth and silence, floating weightlessly in the cradle of the earth. Above you, waves shimmer like mirrors to the stars. Below you, the heartbeat of the world echoes softly through the deep. That heartbeat has never stopped, not for a single moment in 4 billion years. In the quiet depths, there is no rush. Time moves differently. They're slow, patient, eternal. The same patience exists within you. It's the part of you that heals slowly, breathes deeply, and waits for peace to return. The ocean and your mind share that same wisdom to hold, to flow, to let go. It's not just poetic, it's science. Water molecules are bound by invisible forces. Hydrogen bonds, they cling and release over and over again. Every droplet knows how to stay connected and still be free. It's the same dance your neurons follow when they calm during sleep. The same chemistry of release and renewal. And so, as you drift deeper into rest, remember this: the climate, the oceans, and your own body all speak the same language. They breathe, they balance, they remember. The waves that roll across the Pacific are not so different from the waves that flow through your brain as you fall asleep. Both are forms of energy finding their way back to stillness. Both create peace when rhythm replaces chaos. And both remind us that calm is not the absence of motion. It is motion in perfect harmony as the night deepens. Picture the ocean from above, vast, silver, infinite. Moonlight tracing gentle lines across its surface. Somewhere, whales sing in the dark, their voices traveling hundreds of miles. Somewhere, coral glows softly in the tide. Somewhere, a single drop of rain returns to the sea, completing its timeless journey. And somewhere, in this moment, you are part of that same cycle. Your breath rising and falling with the tide. Your heartbeat matching the rhythm of waves you cannot hear but can somehow feel. The ocean has no beginning, no end, and in that endlessness there is peace. It tells us that change is natural, that rest is renewal, that every storm, no matter how fierce, will always give way to calm waters again. The sea doesn't hold on to its waves, it lets them go, and that's how it stays infinite. Maybe that's what the planet is teaching you tonight: to release, to flow, to trust that peace will return. So as you lie here, surrounded by the gentle pulse of Earth's climate, let your mind drift like a current, slow and effortless. You are safe in this ocean of breath. The planet is breathing with you, balancing itself, and you in perfect, quiet motion. And when you're ready to float even deeper, we'll follow the next whisper upward this time, into the sky where clouds form lightning dreams, and the upper winds sing to the stars. The journey continues from sea to sky, from rhythm to rest, always gentle, always connected, always breathing. Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered how something so vast can feel so personal? How the same clouds that drift above deserts also hover over cities, mountains, and oceans, or how they always seem to know when to gather, when to break apart, when to vanish. The sky looks empty from afar, but it's alive, filled with silent motion, invisible rivers, and hidden electricity. Tonight, as you rest, we'll travel upward, leaving the whispering ocean behind, and drift gently into the breathless expanse of air above. Because up there, in the silent layers of the sky, the planet tells another kind of story, one of transformation, patience, and rhythm. Picture yourself lying on a quiet meadow beneath the night sky, the grass beneath you cool and damp with evening dew. Above, clouds drift slowly across the face of the moon. Their edges glow silver, soft and shifting every few seconds. A star peeks through, the air is still, and yet you can sense movement, an unseen tide rolling high above. That is the atmosphere at work, a restless ocean of air that never stops flowing. Every breath you take is drawn from it, every gust, every storm, every gentle breeze is part of its endless song. Clouds are born in silence. They begin as invisible vapor, moisture rising from seas, lakes, forests, and even from your own breath. When warm air meets cool air, tiny droplets form, so small that billions of them make a single cloud. They float together, drifting with the wind, painting the sky with patterns only nature could design. Each cloud is a masterpiece in motion. No two are ever the same. Some stretch thin like silk veils, others build into towering castles of vapor. They are the dreams of water, suspended between earth. Did you know that a small cumulus cloud weighs more than 1,000,000 pounds? It's true. Something that looks light as air holds the weight of thousands of elephants. And yet, it floats effortlessly because the droplets within it are so tiny, gravity almost forgets to pull them down. It's as if the sky itself is practicing balance, teaching us how to hold so much and still stay light when the air cools enough. The droplets join together, becoming heavier. Eventually, they fall as rain. The sound of that rain, the gentle tapping against rooftops, the rhythm on leaves is nature's slow lullaby. Each drop a memory of the ocean returning home. The water that once danced on the surface of the sea now touches your window. It's part of an endless story, from vapor to cloud, from cloud to rain, from rain to river and back again. Lightning, though it seems fierce, is part of this story too. It's the sky's heartbeat. When clouds grow large and heavy, the friction of water and ice particles builds electrical charge. The air becomes a conductor for energy desperate to return to balance. In a sudden flash, lightning bridges the sky to the ground, releasing everything in a single brilliant moment. Thunder follows, the deep voice of the atmosphere, reminding us that power and calm can coexist. Even the storm is part of peace, because after the lightning fades and the rain slows, the air becomes cleaner, cooler, softer to breathe. every storm is followed by renewal. Above all clouds lies another world, silent, smooth, and still, where sunlight glows gold even when storms rage below. Airplanes sometimes pass through this layer, breaking free from turbulence into perfect calm. That moment, when you rise through the gray into sudden light, that's the boundary between chaos and serenity. It's the same shift that happens in your mind when you fall asleep, moving from the crowded thoughts of the day into the clear, endless space of dreams. You rise through your own layers of weather, each breath a cloud dissolving, each sigh a storm fading. The sky is full of mysteries you can't see high above. Winds circle the planet like invisible rivers, the jet streams. They move faster than any storm, steering the weather from continent to continent. These streams are the arteries of the climate. Without them, storms would stall, heat would linger, and seasons would lose their rhythm. They are the unseen architects of balance, and like the pulse in your veins, they keep everything alive and moving. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the hum of it, not with your ears, but with your sense of awareness. It's the same hum you feel in deep meditation, that quiet vibration that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. That's the sound of alignment, the atmosphere vibrating in tune with the Earth's slow rotation. Every cloud, every gust of wind, every flicker of lightning, it's all part of that cosmic rhythm. At night, when the world cools, a gentle exchange takes place. Warm air from the day begins to rise, while cooler air slides downward. This movement, though invisible, creates the comfort we feel at night. The temperature drops slightly, the air thickens, and the scent of soil and water becomes stronger. Your body feels this shift. It's part of why nighttime feels naturally calmer. The entire planet is slowing down, breathing out the warmth it carried through the day. There's something beautifully suspenseful about how clouds form and disappear. They can gather for hours, silent, gray, waiting, then, in a single moment, they break apart, scattering light like diamonds. It's the atmosphere's way of reminding us that nothing lasts forever, not even heaviness. Every storm, every burden, every restless thought eventually dissolves. The same physics that makes rain fall ensures that calm will return. You don't need to rush it, you only need to trust the rhythm. Have you ever noticed how the colors of the sky change before sleep? The deep oranges of sunset fading into purples, then to the infinite blue of night. Those colors aren't random, they're the result of light scattering through tiny air particles. During sunset, sunlight travels through more atmosphere. The blue waves scatter away, leaving only the long red wavelengths. That's why the world looks golden before dark, the planet's gentle farewell before rest. It's science, but it's also poetry, a universal signal that it's time to let go. And when darkness finally arrives, the air cools even more, clouds thin and rise, revealing stars that have been hidden all day. The temperature difference between sky and ground creates gentle currents. You can't feel them, but they move softly above you, carrying whispers of warmth and coolness, the planet's lullaby to itself. If you could float high enough above the last cloud, you'd find the air so thin that sound no longer travels. Silence, pure and perfect, surrounded by soft white spirals of cloud. From that view, even the fiercest storm is just a swirl of beauty. The higher you rise, the smaller your worries become, because from that distance, everything is connected. Ocean, land, wind, breath, thought, dream, and maybe that's what the sky has been teaching us all along. That the storms inside us are no different from those above us. That peace doesn't come from avoiding turbulence, but from moving through it just as the air does, just as the clouds do, just as you do each night when you close your eyes and surrender to rest. Somewhere above you right now, the air is shimmering with unseen motion. Tiny droplets are forming, drifting, and dissolving. Lightning flashes, unseen but felt. The entire atmosphere is alive, breathing, changing, glowing, and through it all, your body listens, matching its rhythm to the rhythm of the world. So, as you drift deeper into rest, imagine yourself becoming part of that sky, weightless, infinite, moving without effort. You are a cloud, soft, light, unbound. You rise with the warmth, fall with the rain, vanish into the night. But you never truly disappear. You transform over and over again. Just like water, just like air, just like thought. The sky's silent symphony never ends. It only changes instruments, wind, rain, thunder, silence. Each sound, each motion is part of the same song. The song of balance, of patience, of calm. And as we move onward, following the rhythm of this great sleeping planet, our next journey will take us beyond the clouds, into the quiet mysteries of light itself, where colors are born, where the sun and stars weave together the fabric of time, and where every dawn reminds us that rest is never the end, it's renewal. Now breathe in softly. Feel the cool air fill your chest, breathe out slowly, and let yourself float in the vast, forgiving calm of the sky. Because up here, there are no worries, no rush, no weight, only motion, only peace. Have you ever wondered why the rising sun feels like hope itself? Why dawn's first light has the power to calm you before a single word is spoken? Or how something as ordinary as sunlight can carry secrets written across time and space? Tonight, as you drift into rest, we'll travel not through oceans or air, but through light itself. We'll explore how the planet awakens and sleeps in rhythm with the sky's gentle pulse, and how that same rhythm lives inside you, guiding when you open your eyes and when you finally close them. Picture yourself standing at the edge of night, the world around you quiet and half-lit. Mountains rise in the distance like sleeping giants. The air is cool, heavy with dew, and above the horizon, the first silver hint of dawn begins to bloom. It's faint at first, a breath, a shimmer, but soon it spreads. The sky turns from black to indigo, then violet, then a faint gold. The stars begin to fade, the night exhales, and the world inhales light again. This is not just beauty, it's biology, it's physics, it's life returning light. Isn't just what we see, it's what we are. Every plant, every animal, every cell on this planet has evolved to the rhythm of sunlight. Our days, our moods, even our dreams follow the same cosmic metronome. When light reaches the eye, it tells your brain, it's time to wake. When darkness falls, it whispers, it's time to rest. This invisible dance of brightness and shadow shapes every heartbeat, every thought, every sigh. But have you ever asked what light really is? It seems so simple, something that lets us see, Yet, it's one of the strangest, most mysterious things in existence. Light behaves both as a wave and a particle. It moves faster than anything known, nearly 300,000 kilometers per second. In that speed, it connects the entire universe in real time. The light touching your skin tonight began its journey from the sun 8 minutes ago. But the light from a distant star might have started traveling before humans even existed. Every photon is a time traveler. When you look up at the night sky, you are not seeing the present. You are witnessing ancient stories written in radiance. Imagine floating above Earth now, high beyond the clouds below you. The dark curve of the planet glows with scattered city lights. Above, the stars shimmer in endless silence. And then, on the horizon, the sun begins to rise, not as a ball of fire, but as a wave of color flowing across the atmosphere. First violet, then crimson, then a flood of amber and gold. The colors you see are the result of sunlight bending through air molecules. Blue light scatters most, so the red and orange wavelengths linger at dawn and dusk. That's why sunsets feel so emotional. Your body has evolved to recognize that soft spectrum of light as a signal of peace, a command to slow down, to let go. The universe speaks in color, and your brain understands its language, even when you're half asleep. Scientists call this the circadian rhythm, but you might know it as your inner clock. A cycle written into your DNA. When sunlight enters your eyes, it reaches a cluster of cells behind them, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That's the conductor of your body's orchestra. It sends signals to every organ, adjusting temperature, hormones, energy, and mood. It releases serotonin when the light is bright, and when night returns, it lets melatonin flow, the very chemical that makes you drowsy now as you listen to these words. You are not just falling asleep, you are synchronizing with the planet itself. There's a secret buried in that rhythm. When humans first existed, before clocks or electricity, we lived entirely by the light. We rose with the dawn, worked by day, rested by night. Our dreams followed the moon, but as the centuries passed, we began to bend light to our will. Candles, lanterns, bulbs, artificial stars that let us stretch the day. We gained time, but lost something else. The deep peace that comes from surrendering to nature's original rhythm. That's why, sometimes, even surrounded by light, you still feel restless. Because your body remembers what your world has forgotten. It remembers the silence before sunrise, the soft awakening of color that told your ancestors it's morning, it's safe, it's time. Now, let's drift deeper. Imagine light not as brightness, but as warmth. It wraps around your body. You can feel it soaking into your skin, through your chest, through your bones. Each photon carries a pulse of energy, pure and ancient, the same energy that fuels forests, grows oceans, and shapes weather. Without it, the planet would fall silent, but with it, everything moves slow, eternal, unstoppable. When sunlight hits a leaf, it begins the quiet miracle of photosynthesis. Light becomes sugar, becomes oxygen, becomes breath. The air you are breathing now once began as sunlight trapped in green. You are, in a sense, inhaling the past. Every breath is the planet's memory made new. And when the day fades again, that light doesn't die. It bends, it scatters, it transforms. The reds deepen, shadows stretch long, and the air cools. Your body feels it, the slowing pulse, the subtle drop in temperature you might not notice. But your heart rate dips slightly, your muscles loosen. It's the world's way of telling you it's time to let go. But light doesn't just vanish when darkness comes. Another kind of light takes over: starlight, moonlight, firelight, each softer, older, and slower. Starlight is ancient energy reaching you after traveling billions of years. Some of the light falling on your eyelids tonight was born before the earth even had oceans. It's a message from eternity, and the moon, it doesn't shine by itself. It borrows the sun's light, softening it into something the heart can hold. A reflection of calm, a mirror for dreams. Did you know that even the faintest light affects the human mind? Your pupils widen or contract in microseconds. Your brain adjusts your emotions. Your heartbeat, your very sense of time in deep night without light. Your mind releases its grip on the clock. Minutes stretch into hours. Hours dissolve. You begin to dream in colors that never existed, because light and thought are made of the same thing: waves and sparks. Your imagination glows in the dark the same way the stars do in space. A continuation of light within you. Now, imagine the first morning after creation, when the sun rose for the very first time over a silent earth. The oceans gleamed like mirrors, the mountains turned golden, and somewhere the first breeze stirred. That same sunrise happens every day, not in the same place, not in the same way, but with the same truth that no matter how long the night, light will return. That is not just poetic, it's physical law. Energy never disappears, it transforms. And that is the most comforting law of all. When you close your eyes tonight, you are not falling into darkness. You are simply turning inward to the same cycle of transformation. Your body cools like twilight. Your thoughts fade like stars before dawn, and somewhere in your mind, the first soft light of dreaming begins to glow. The dance of light continues, even in sleep, not in color now, but in pulse and rhythm. Brain waves slow, breath deepens. A different kind of illumination begins, the one that doesn't come from outside, but from within, somewhere out there. As you listen, dawn is breaking on another side of the world. Someone else is waking to that same golden light. The same sun that warmed your day is touching their morning. The planet turns, light flows, darkness folds, and everything, everyone, moves together in the same cosmic breath. So, as you drift deeper now, imagine yourself floating in that light, not as something separate, but as part of it. You are made of the same energy that fuels stars, the same rhythm that guides oceans and forests. When you inhale, you are taking in sunlight reshaped into air. When you exhale, you are releasing warmth back into the sky. You are both the dawn and the dusk, both the glow and the shadow, both the question and the quiet answer. And now, let that understanding settle softly, like the first light on still water. Let it fill you with calm, because no matter how long the darkness lasts, the light always returns within you, around you, above you, always, as we move on. The next chapter of this journey will take us deeper into the heart of the earth itself, where warmth is born not from the sun, but from the planet's own fire, a slow, steady heat that rises from the core, guiding weather, shaping continents, and whispering ancient lullabies through stone. But for now, Rest easy beneath the glow of starlight, and know that you are part of this great dance, the dance of light, life, and everlasting calm. Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the ground you walk on? Beneath the soil, the stone, and the quiet layers of time? What secrets the earth keeps in its hidden chambers? We live our lives on its surface, building, dreaming, sleeping, rarely stopping to think that beneath us, a living world is moving, glowing, breathing. The ground beneath your feet is not still, not dead, but alive with a slow and ancient heartbeat. Tonight, as your mind softens and your breath slows, we'll drift downward, gently, through layers of stone and silence, down to the molten heart of the planet, where warmth never fades and the story of life truly begins. Imagine lying in a vast open field beneath a velvet sky. The stars shimmer above you, soft and countless. The air is cool, still, and clean. You feel the pulse of the earth beneath you, faint but steady, a vibration too deep to hear, too slow to measure. It's as if the world itself is breathing, inhale, exhale, a rhythm that has been going on for 4.5 billion years. Each breath shaping continents, raising mountains, calming oceans. Now imagine that pulse calling to you, inviting you downward, beneath the roots of trees and rivers. Beneath the fossils of forgotten ages lies a hidden landscape, dark, hot, and endlessly changing. The Earth's crust, thin as an eggshell compared to the whole planet, floats above seas of molten rock. This layer, the mantle, is neither solid nor liquid. It moves like honey over millennia, slow, unstoppable, patient. Every mountain range, every ocean trench, is shaped by its ancient motion. It's called convection, the planet's way of balancing its inner heat. When the molten rock deep inside warms up, it rises. When it cools, it sinks again. It's the same principle that moves the air in your room, the same principle that carries clouds across the sky. Earth, too, breathes, just on a longer timescale. Did you know that the heat beneath your feet was born in the same explosion that created the sun? When the solar system formed, dust and rock collided. Each collision added warmth. Each impact compressed energy into matter. That ancient heat still burns within Earth's heart, a memory of creation itself. Even now, radioactive elements deep inside continue to decay slowly, each decay releasing a whisper of warmth. It's quiet, invisible, but constant, a fire that never goes out. Now, picture drifting deeper. The soil grows warmer, the air denser. You pass through layers of rock, glowing faintly red. Crystals shimmer, minerals shift and twist under pressure, until suddenly you reach a vast underground ocean of magma. It moves like a dream, slow rivers of fire winding through dark stone caverns. The heat is immense, yet strangely comforting, because this is where the planet keeps its heartbeat. Every volcano, every geyser, every hot spring, they are the Earth's exhalations, moments when the inner world reaches up to touch the surface, reminding us that even the ground beneath us is alive. Think of Iceland, a land where the ground steams, the rivers boil, and the earth sings in geothermal song. There, people harness the planet's warmth to heat their homes, the same warmth that once melted continents, the same energy that created oceans. In those places, when you stand still, you can feel it, a deep hum, a low vibration, the the heartbeat of the earth made audible. But this warmth does more than create volcanoes. It shapes weather. It controls the motion of the continents. It even affects the magnetic field that shields our world from cosmic storms. Far below, in the outer core, liquid iron spins and flows. Its motion creates an invisible shield around the planet, a magnetic cocoon that protects all life from solar radiation. Without it, the atmosphere would vanish, the oceans would evaporate, and life would fade. So when you see the northern lights, those shimmering curtains of green and purple, you are seeing the dance of that magnetic field with the sun's wind. You are seeing the earth defending you, quietly, constantly, beautifully. Now imagine following that iron river deeper still. The temperature rises to thousands of degrees. The air becomes energy itself. And finally, at the very center, you find the core, a sphere of solid iron, hotter than the surface of the sun. Yet locked in eternal stillness by crushing pressure, it doesn't burn or move. It glows, radiating warmth that seeps upward through stone and magma and soil. This is the sleeping heart of Earth. It beats without sound, without pause, a constant pulse of life beneath everything you've ever known. Scientists can't see it directly. They feel it through vibrations, seismic waves that travel through the planet after earthquakes. By studying how those waves bend and echo, they can read the Earth's interior like a heartbeat monitor. And each tremor tells a story. Some reveal quiet movements of tectonic plates. Others tell of ancient collisions that shaped mountains. And sometimes the Earth sighs a deep groan felt across oceans. It's not anger, not chaos, just motion. The planet adjusting itself, as any living thing must. Even in its stillness, the Earth dreams. Volcanoes build new islands, while glaciers carve old ones away. Continents drift like clouds over centuries. Mountains crumble into sand, that sand turns into stone. And deep below, it melts, begins again. The cycle never ends. It's the slowest kind of rebirth, one measured not in years, but in eons. And yet, it's the same rhythm you feel when you breathe. Inhale, exhale, creation, destruction, creation again. Now, let's pause. Feel your body, heavy, grounded, resting against the surface of this ancient world. Every breath you take connects you to that deep rhythm. Your body is made of minerals that once lay within the Earth's crust. Iron in your blood once belonged to the planet's core. Calcium in your bones once drifted as dust across the sea. You are, quite literally, made of Earth. You are its surface, its story, its continuation. And as you rest tonight, the planet rests with you. Not in stillness, but in perfect harmony. Did you know that even earthquakes have their gentle side? When tectonic plates shift, they release pressure that's been building for centuries. Without that release, the world's surface would fracture beyond repair. Each tremor, each movement, is part of a balance, a reminder that even the most violent moments of nature serve a quiet purpose. In that sense, the Earth is like the mind. When pressure builds too long, it must find release, and when it does, peace eventually returns. No storm, no quake, no upheaval lasts forever. As you sink deeper into relaxation, picture yourself lying in a cradle of stone, warmth rising from below, wrapping around you like a blanket of soft fire. You can hear the faint hum of magma moving miles beneath, a deep lullaby only the Earth can sing. Every sound, every vibration, every whisper of energy, it's all connected, a symphony too vast for human ears, but felt in every heartbeat. Somewhere far away, a volcano glows under the moon. Its lava flows like liquid light, slow, graceful, unstoppable. And when that lava cools, it becomes land, new soil, new life. Even in destruction, creation hides. That is the planet's greatest secret: to burn, to rebuild, to never truly end. So, as you drift toward sleep, remember that you are resting on a living world, one that moves, breathes, and dreams beneath you. Its warmth holds you, its gravity anchors you, its heartbeat matches yours in perfect time. You are not separate from the planet. You are the planet. Your body, its dust; your breath, its air; your blood, its molten fire cooled by time. You are part of the story that began billions of years ago, and it continues now, quietly, within you. And when morning comes again, the warmth that touches your face will have traveled through this deep and ancient system, from the heart of the sun to the heart of the earth, to the warmth of your skin, everything connected, everything breathing together. So let go. Let the weight of the world beneath you hold you steady. Let its quiet fire cradle you, because the earth, too, never sleeps. It only rests, just like you. And when we rise again, we'll follow that warmth upward, into the winds that circle the world, invisible rivers of air that shape the skies and carry dreams across continents. But for now, rest deep and feel the heartbeat of the world beneath your feet. Have you ever paused to feel the wind on your skin and wondered where it came from? Was it born in the mountains, or did it drift from the ocean? Was it once a breeze that brushed across another continent, another soul? The air that moves around you is not random. It is part of a vast, elegant dance, a pattern so ancient, so delicate, that it has shaped every cloud, every breath, every calm night you've ever known. Tonight, we rise from the earth's molten heart and drift upward into that invisible ocean, the atmosphere, where the planet itself breathes in great, silent waves. Imagine yourself standing on a high cliff overlooking the sea. The air is cool, laced with salt, the horizon infinite. Each gust that passes feels alive, carrying whispers from faraway places. Perhaps that breeze once touched the sands of the Sahara, or skimmed across Arctic ice. Maybe it was once trapped between skyscrapers in a distant city. Now it finds you, softly, gently, wrapping around your face as the sky deepens into twilight. You breathe it in, and in that breath, you are connected to the entire world. Air may seem empty, but it is a river of motion, full of stories. Every molecule travels, rising, sinking, looping endlessly. The atmosphere itself is a great sea, with tides and currents that flow just like the ocean. Warm air rises near the equator. Cool air sinks near the poles. These invisible rivers stretch across the planet. They're called jet streams, high, narrow bands of fast-moving air. They guide storms, shape seasons, and even carry the whispers of volcanic dust across the world. When a butterfly flaps its wings in one corner of the earth, it sends a tremor that joins these vast streams of motion. That's not just poetry, it's physics. A single movement can ripple through the entire atmosphere, and in that truth lies something quietly astonishing. Everything you do, every breath you take, is part of a global rhythm. Picture drifting higher. Above the mountains, beyond the clouds, the air grows thin, colder, clearer. You can see the curve of the planet below, Swirls of white clouds trace the edges of continents. You are now floating inside the troposphere, the lowest layer of our atmosphere, where all weather lives. Here, storms are born, clouds gather, and rain begins its descent. Every gust of wind below is part of a vast conversation. One region exhales, another inhales, warmth and cold chasing each other endlessly. The planet's breath never stops. Did you know that this movement of air began billions of years ago in the planet's youth, before trees or oceans as we know them? Volcanoes exhaled gases, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, water vapor. They rose, cooled, condensed. The first winds began not as breezes, but as fiery sighs from the newborn earth. And from those sighs, clouds formed, rain fell, the first oceans shimmered under alien skies. The atmosphere we breathe today is the descendant of those ancient exhalations. Every gust of wind is a memory of the planet's first breath. Now imagine the air moving through a forest. Each leaf trembles as the wind passes. The branches sway like dancers in slow motion. The trees aren't just moved by the air, they listen to it. Every gust carries moisture, spores, and microscopic life. The wind pollinates flowers, spreads seeds, and balances temperature. It cools the land, carries clouds inland without wind. The Earth's surface would stagnate, rivers would evaporate in silence, forests would wither, the world would forget to breathe. So when you feel that soft touch of wind, remember, it is the pulse of existence itself. Now drift higher still, above the clouds, where the air thins and glows faintly blue. This is where the jet streams roam, powerful rivers of wind moving faster than sound. They circle the planet like invisible ribbons, guiding storms, balancing heat. The jet streams are the arteries of the atmosphere, connecting equator to pole, east to west, each one humming with quiet energy. They are invisible sculptors, carving the weather you feel on your skin. A storm in one part of the world can send echoes through these streams, rippling for days, reshaping skies thousands of miles away. It's a system so vast, so complex, that even the most advanced models can only glimpse its patterns. And yet, somehow, it works in perfect harmony, far below. The wind brushes over deserts. It lifts grains of sand, tiny, golden fragments, and carries them across oceans. Those grains settle thousands of miles away, becoming nourishment for rainforests. Yes, the sands of the Sahara feed the trees of the Amazon. The breath of one world sustains another. The same happens with sea spray. The ocean sends salt and minerals into the air. They fall as rain far inland. Life circles back. The atmosphere is not just air, it's communication, cooperation, connection. And when night falls, the wind changes its tone. It slows, cools, softens. You can feel it whispering across your window. It feels calmer, almost like a sigh. That's because the ground cools faster than the air above. Warm air rises, cool air flows to replace it. These are katabatic winds, gentle night breaths that descend from the mountains and valleys. They bring the scent of pine, of stone, of sleep. They are nature's lullaby, unseen hands smoothing the wrinkles of the day. Did you know your body mirrors this movement when you inhale? Air rushes through your lungs like a miniature weather system. It warms, rises, expands when you exhale. It cools and flows outward, in that tiny rhythm. You echo the planet's own breath, the same exchange of warmth, energy, and calm. Your lungs and the atmosphere are not separate, they are reflections of one another. Every inhale is an invitation, every exhale a release. Together, they form the quiet science of being alive. As you drift into this thought, imagine floating through the air itself, weightless, transparent, unseen. You drift over forests, across deserts, over oceans. You move with the jet streams, crossing the world in hours below. Lightning flashes in clouds, like neurons firing in a sleeping brain. It's as if the planet dreams through storms. Each bolt a thought, each gust. You begin to sense the pattern. Every current, every shift, every sigh of wind. It's not chaos, it's conversation. The earth is speaking in air. You just have to be quiet enough to listen. Somewhere far below, a mother closes her window against a cool night breeze. Somewhere else, a sailor adjusts his sail to catch the same wind. A bird glides without a sound. A mountain stands still as the air curls around its slopes. And somewhere, right now, that same current touches your face. One wind, endless lives, one breath, countless moments. So as you lie here, breathing softly, know that you are part of that same invisible movement, the same rhythm that shapes storms, carries clouds, and softens nights. You are the atmosphere, and it is you. It moves through you. It sustains you. It even comforts you. And though you cannot see it, it knows exactly where to go, balancing, cooling, connecting, protecting. Now, as we prepare to drift onward, feel the air around you still. Imagine it wrapping you like a blanket light. Cool, alive, it hums with memory, with motion, with balance. And though the wind outside will continue its eternal wandering, for now, within this quiet moment, let it rest. Let your breath synchronize with the planets. Slow got calm, effortless, because you, too, are part of the world's breathing. And tonight, the earth exhales peace and carries you gently along. Soon we'll rise again, higher still, past the clouds, into the stratosphere, where sunlight bends, auroras shimmer, and the thin edge of the sky glows with the colors of dreams. But for now, stay here, listening to the quiet rhythm of air, the wind's eternal lullaby, the breath of the living planet, always flowing, always returning, always holding you in its calm. Have you ever looked up on a cold, clear night and wondered what makes the heavens move? Why sometimes the sky itself seems alive, rippling in waves of green and violet light? Why it feels less like weather and more like whispering magic? The truth, as always, is both stranger and more beautiful than imagination. For above us, unseen by day, lies a world where the air glows, where invisible particles from the sun paint the sky in color, where the planet's magnetic field becomes an artist, and where every flicker of light is a silent song from space. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You are standing at the edge of the Arctic Circle. The night is so still it almost hums. Snow blankets the ground in a pale reflection of the stars. And then a shimmer, faint, uncertain, curls across the horizon. It grows unfurling like a ribbon in slow motion. Greens, purples, faint reds, moving like silk underwater. You feel the air pulse gently against your skin. But there is no sound, no thunder, no crackle, just light dancing, breathing, dreaming. The aurora begins with the sun, far away, 93 million miles from here. The sun is not a steady flame, but a restless ocean of fire. It boils, surges, erupts. Its magnetic fields twist and snap like invisible ropes sometimes. Those eruptions are so powerful they hurl great clouds of charged particles, electrons, and protons into space. They travel outward at unimaginable speeds through the vacuum between worlds, until days later they meet the Earth. And that's where the magic begins. Our planet is not defenseless. It wears a shield, the magnetic field, a vast, invisible bubble called the magnetosphere. It stretches thousands of miles into space, deflecting most of the solar wind away like water flowing around a stone. But at the poles, where the field lines converge, some of those particles slip through. They spiral down into the atmosphere. And when they collide with atoms of oxygen and nitrogen, they make the sky glow. Green when they strike oxygen at lower heights, red when they meet it higher up, blue and violet when they touch nitrogen, each color a note, each shimmer a tone in the symphony of the sun meeting Earth. Now imagine floating upward through the night air, through the troposphere, past the clouds that once carried your dreams, through the thin veil of the stratosphere, higher into the ionosphere, where the air grows electric. This is where auroras live, a region of energy and silence, where atoms become charged, and light is born. Here there is no breeze, no sound, only vibration, the kind you don't hear but feel, a deep hum that resonates in your bones. It's as if the planet itself is breathing in rhythm with the cosmos. Did you know that these auroras can dance differently in the north and south at the same time? The northern lights and the southern lights, aurora borealis and aurora australis, mirror each other like reflections in a cosmic mirror. One flickers above icy Norway while the other glows over Antarctica, linked by the same magnetic field lines, twin fires in the sky. It's one of nature's most profound acts of symmetry, a visual proof that what happens in one corner of the planet ripples through the other. Some cultures once believed the auroras were spirits, ancestors dancing in the heavens. Others thought they were messages, or gateways between worlds, and in a way, they were right. Because the light truly is a message, a story written by the sun, translated by the earth, and delivered in color. Every flicker tells of a solar storm. Every curve of light speaks of the invisible battle between radiation and magnetism, between chaos and harmony, between the cosmos and the cradle of life. Let your mind wander there for a moment, above the snow, under the rippling green sky. You can almost feel the vibration, tiny particles striking atoms, exciting them, each one releasing a photon of light as it calms again. It's as if the universe sighs with every shimmer, and that sigh becomes a wave of peace that washes over the sleeping world. The science is mesmerizing, but the feeling is ancient, because deep down, your body recognizes this rhythm. The same magnetic field that guides the auroras also moves through you. Your heart beats in sync with that field. Your brain waves resonate faintly with the planet's electromagnetic hum. This is not just poetic imagination, it's measurable. We are, quite literally, connected to the same energy that paints the polar skies. You are a piece of the aurora, made from the same particles. illuminated by the same star, now drift higher still. The earth curves beneath you like a luminous marble. Its poles gleam with soft halos of green and red. Above you, the solar wind flows like a river of fire. Between them, the aurora dances, an interface between worlds. And in this vast, silent space, you realize something. The colors aren't random. They move like thought. They pulse like breath. They flicker in patterns that mirror brainwaves. It's as if the planet itself dreams, and the aurora is that dream made visible. Every light you see is a heartbeat of the Earth's magnetic field, each pulse a reminder that we live on a living, breathing sphere, not silent, not still, but alive with energy, constantly communicating with the sun, the stars, and even you. And though the world below may sleep, the sky above never does. It keeps watch. It glows quietly. It remembers as you breathe in now. Imagine drawing that auroral light into yourself, a soft stream of green flowing into your chest, settling in your lungs like a calm flame with each exhale. Imagine releasing any noise from your mind, letting it dissolve into the night air, the same air that drifts upward, that joins the aurora's dance, until even your worries become part of the sky's quiet shimmer. That is the true science of calm, not to escape the world, but to feel your place in it so deeply that you realize you've never been apart. Far below, the snow still glows faintly green. Foxes pause mid-step to watch the lights. An owl turns its head toward the horizon. Somewhere, a person stands in awe, their breath visible, their eyes full of wonder, and they whisper not to anyone, but to the universe itself, "Thank you." And in that quiet moment, the aurora flickers brighter, as if to answer. Now, slowly, drift back down, through the thinning lights, through the silent layers of sky, back toward the soft darkness of your room, the glow of your screen, the comfort of your bed. But keep that image, the green veil of light, the endless pulse of the cosmos meeting the earth, the soft hum of existence. Because when you sleep tonight, you are not merely resting, you are joining that rhythm, becoming part of the silent aurora that moves across the stars, breathing in time with the planet, glowing softly, quietly, eternally. Now, as you drift deeper into rest, let the last of the light fade gently behind your eyes. The sky dreams above you, and the earth dreams with you, because you, like the aurora, are made of starlight. And tonight, the universe whispers, "Sleep, glow, remember." Have you ever wondered what the ocean does when the world sleeps? Does it rest? Does it dream? Or does it keep whispering to itself, a language older than time? When you stand beside the shore at night, you can feel it, a pulse beneath the waves, a slow, deliberate heartbeat, not chaotic, but rhythmic, as if the ocean breathes in sync with the stars above it. There is a reason it feels alive, because it is. The ocean is not just water, it's memory. It carries the story of the planet, written in salt and motion. Every drop that touches your feet once traveled through storms, rivers, glaciers. It has seen the birth of continents and the fall of ancient species. It has touched every shore, whispered against every coastline. The ocean is the Earth's oldest mind, and tonight we listen to its thoughts. Imagine yourself standing on a quiet beach beneath a silver moon. The waves move with the patience of centuries. each one rising, falling, breathing. The foam glows faintly, lit by plankton that shine when disturbed, tiny organisms that create living stars in the dark water. You step closer, your toes sink into cool, damp sand, and you realize the ocean isn't roaring tonight, it's whispering. Its voice is low, endless, and comforting, like a lullaby made of gravity and time. Now close your eyes and picture the sea from above. From high in the sky, it looks still, endless. But beneath that calm surface, there is movement, constant, vast, deliberate. Currents flow like veins through a body. Warm water drifting north, cold water sinking south. These are the great conveyors of life. They carry heat, salt, nutrients, and energy. They regulate weather, feed the air, and keep the world. The ocean is the Earth's circulatory system. Without it, the planet would fall silent, frozen, forgotten. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. The oceans actually breathe at the surface. Waves exchange gases with the air, oxygen going in, carbon dioxide coming out. The water takes in what the sky releases. It exhales what the earth no longer needs. And in this slow exchange, the planet finds balance. Every wave you hear at night is part of that breath. A soft inhalation of life, a gentle exhalation of calm. Did you know that the moon controls this breathing? Its gravity pulls the oceans toward it, creating the tides that rise and fall twice each day. It's a dance that has gone on for billions of years. Each tide a silent conversation between sea and sky. When the moon is full, the pull is stronger. The tides swell higher. When it wanes, the waters retreat. The ocean listens, obeys, and whispers back in waves. That's why the sea feels more alive beneath moonlight, because it's literally being lifted, drawn upward, embraced by gravity and light. Now imagine drifting below the surface. The light fades to a deep, infinite blue. You move slowly through the upper layers, where fish glide like thoughts, and kelp sways in unseen rhythms. Every sound becomes muffled. Your heartbeat echoes softly in your ears. You feel weightless, as if floating in a dream. Down here, day and night are less about light and more about movement. The ocean has its own time, its own pulse, and it never stops. Deeper still, the pressure grows. The water grows colder, darker, thicker. This is the twilight zone, a region where sunlight fades, but life still glimmers. Creatures glow faintly in the dark. Bioluminescent trails weave like constellations beneath the waves. They flash to communicate, to hunt, to love. Down here, there are no storms, no winds, no waves, only stillness and light that breathes. You watch a jellyfish drift by, its translucent body pulsing gently. Each beat, and even deeper, miles below the surface, there are valleys, mountains, volcanoes. The Midochin ridges, massive scars, where the Earth's crust spreads and new seafloor is born. Molten rock rises, cools, and hardens, creating an endless chain of underwater mountains. It is here, in total darkness, that life first began, not from sunlight, but from heat. From the mineral-rich vents that spew energy into the cold abyss, microbes thrive there, turning chemistry into life. And from them, all life, including yours, eventually evolved. The ocean is not just a cradle of life, it's the planet's womb. Still warm, still dreaming, still alive. When you return to the surface, you begin to hear the ocean differently. Every wave becomes a heartbeat, every ripple a breath, and when the wind passes over it, it becomes a voice, a whisper that says, "Remember where you came from, because your blood, your cells, your salt, all of it once belonged to the sea. You are not separate from it. You are a fragment of its story, a drop that learned to walk. The sea dreams when you sleep. Its tides rise and fall like your lungs. The moon's pull is the same force that steadies your own heartbeat. You are, in truth, synchronized with the ocean. Every calm wave, every deep sigh, every slow rhythm is mirrored inside you. That's why the sound of water soothes you. It's not random. It's recognition. Now imagine lying on a small wooden boat, drifting under the stars. The water beneath you glows faintly with bioluminescence. Every movement of the boat leaves a soft trail of light. The sky above is an endless ocean of its own, filled with stars, planets, distant suns. The air smells faintly of salt and calm. You can feel the world breathe beneath you, slowly, deeply, peacefully, and in that stillness, you realize that the surface between sea and sky is thin, almost invisible. You are floating between two infinities, the ocean below and the cosmos above, both vast, both mysterious, both alive, far beneath the waves. Whales sing their low, mournful songs. Their calls travel across thousands of miles of water. Longer than any human sound, each note echoes for hours. And yet, it feels like a whisper. They sing not to fill the silence, but to become part of it. Their songs guide them, connect them, comfort them, and somewhere in the stillness, you understand the sea itself hums, its currents, its creatures, its chemistry, all vibrating in harmony. A frequency so low it can only be felt, not heard, the earth's own lullaby. When you listen closely to the ocean at night, you are hearing the language of balance, a perfect equation of gravity, pressure, and time. And within that balance lies peace. Because the sea doesn't rush, it doesn't worry. It moves at the speed of harmony. It knows where it's going, and it has for billions of years. So as you lie there, breathing gently, let the rhythm of the waves match your breath. Inhale as the tide comes in, exhale as it rolls back out. Feel the calm, deep, and ancient, washing over you like warm water. Because you, too, are part of the ocean's story. You are its memory, its rhythm, its dream. And tonight, as the moon rises higher and the sea glows softly beneath it, know this: the planet is not just alive, it's resting, drifting, dreaming, and carrying you gently within its endless tide. The whispering ocean is singing you to sleep, and in its voice, you are home. Have you ever stood in a forest at night and felt it watching you? Not with eyes, but with something deeper, something alive. The air feels heavier there, softer, as if every leaf holds its breath between heartbeats. If you listen closely enough, you can almost hear it, a low, patient whisper beneath the wind, the sound of trees talking to one another. Because, yes, forests speak slowly, wordlessly, and with purpose. And tonight, we are going to listen to that quiet conversation. The forest doesn't sleep the way we do. When darkness falls, it exhales, releasing the oxygen they've gathered all day. Roots stretch deeper, fungi awaken, and the night creatures begin their gentle work. It is not silence you feel there, it's activity, hidden beneath stillness, an invisible hum beneath the earth, like the slow pulse of a living planet. Imagine yourself walking through that forest now. Your feet sink into damp moss, the air smells of pine, soil, and the faint sweetness of decay above you. The canopy is thick, moonlight filters through in silver threads. You hear the faint rustle of an owl taking flight, the sigh of the wind through branches, and beneath it all, something subtler, a feeling that the forest itself is aware of you, not afraid, not curious, just as if you've stepped inside the lungs of the world. That's not far from the truth. Forests are the breath of the planet during the day. They inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen, but at night they reverse. Their rhythm syncs with the Earth's temperature, humidity, and even the position of the moon. Every tree participates in this global breathing, each leaf a cell in a vast, interconnected organism. And when billions of trees breathe together, they create the air you're breathing right now. Did you know that trees can hear the world around them? Scientists have discovered that they respond to sound. Their roots grow toward the faint trickle of water. Their leaves react to vibrations, even music, and beneath the soil, there's something even more extraordinary. A network so vast and ancient it's been called the Wood Wide Web. Thin threads of fungi connect the roots of trees across entire forests. Through these threads, trees exchange nutrients, warnings, and even signals of distress. When one tree is attacked by insects, it sends out chemical messages through the soil. Nearby trees prepare their defenses. When a mother tree, a large ancient one, has extra carbon, she shares it with smaller saplings. The forest doesn't just grow together, it thinks together. Now imagine what happens at night. When human noise fades, when the sun's heat no longer presses on leaves, the trees begin their nocturnal rhythm. Roots pulse with slow electrical signals. The fungi glow faintly in darkness. Nutrients flow like whispers between them. The forest becomes a living brain, a silent network pulsing with communication. Each signal slow, deliberate, full of memory. You pause beneath a towering cedar, its bark rough beneath your fingertips. You can feel a faint vibration, almost imperceptible, the slow movement of water rising. Even at night, trees draw water from deep in the earth, sending it upward, their roots reaching into ancient reservoirs, connecting you, right now, to water that may have fallen as rain centuries ago. The forest holds time differently. For us, a day is a day. For a tree, a single heartbeat might take a season. Its patience reshapes entire landscapes. Its silence carries the weight of centuries in the dim light. You notice something glowing faintly on the ground, a patch of foxfire, bioluminescent fungi that emit a soft green light. They feed on decaying wood, turning death into gentle illumination. Even decay in the forest is not an end, it's a transformation. Nutrients return to the soil. The dead feed the living. The circle closes quietly. The forest dreams in cycles, life feeding life, endlessly. Now, listen closer. You'll hear a low hum, almost like a whisper, below hearing. It's not just insects or leaves. It's the forest communicating through chemistry and vibration. Each tree sending out scents and signals into the air. If a deer grazes on its leaves, the tree releases a bitter compound. Nearby trees detect it and start producing the same defense. a silent alarm system older than civilization, a network built from cooperation, not competition. The forest does not fight to dominate, it learns to coexist. Its balance is survival, its silence is wisdom. As you walk deeper, the trees begin to change, their trunks thicken, their roots twist and intertwine. You find yourself surrounded by giants, redwoods, oaks, pines, older than empires. Their presence feels almost sentient. You sense it in the air, the density of their age, the weight of their endurance. These trees have witnessed more dawns and storms than we have dreams. Their rings hold the history of the climate, every drought, every rainfall, each year, a memory etched in wood. If you could listen closely enough, you might hear the sound of time itself flowing through them. You sit at the base of one such tree. The moss beneath you is soft, almost warm, the roots spread wide like a cradle. You lean back and feel your heartbeat slow. Above you, the stars shimmer through the leaves, each beam of light landing softly on bark that has absorbed centuries of sun. You realize you're not just sitting in a forest, you're sitting inside a breathing being, a living, ancient intelligence. Calm, patient, unhurried, and as you breathe, you begin to match its rhythm. Inhale, the forest fills your lungs. Exhale, your breath joins the night air. You are no longer an observer, you are a part of the exchange, a cell in the body of this great green consciousness. Your mind quiets, your muscles loosen. The same calm that flows through the soil flows through you. You can almost feel your thoughts root themselves, slowly, deeply, peacefully. Did you know that when you walk through a forest, your body responds biologically to its chemistry? The trees release compounds called phytoncides. They reduce stress hormones, lower your heart rate, and increase the activity of natural killer cells in your immune system. The forest literally heals you as you breathe. Its air is medicine. Its stillness is therapy. That's why time in the woods feels like returning to yourself. Because evolution shaped us inside these green cathedrals. Our bodies remember what our minds forget, that we belong here. Far above, a breeze moves through the canopy. The leaves rustle. It sounds almost like the ocean, a soft rhythm of rise and fall. The same wave that you once heard on the shore now echoes in the forest. Earth, water, air, they all move with the same pattern. You begin to see the connection. The winds carry the ocean's breath inland. The trees breathe it in and release new air for the world to exhale again. A global cycle of calm, a planetary meditation, and you are breathing right in the center of it. The forest doesn't need to speak in words. Its language is rhythm, balance, silence, and every creature within it, the waking owl, the whispering stream, even the fungi glowing faintly under your feet. Each one plays its part in this great nocturnal symphony. And when you lie there eyes closed, you realize something beautiful. The forest is not watching you, it's welcoming you, inviting you to remember what stillness sounds like. So, as the night deepens and the stars shift slowly overhead, let yourself drift with the rhythm of the forest. Feel its patience seep into your bones, its wisdom cradle your mind. Because this slow heartbeat beneath the soil, this unseen network of life and silence, is the real world. The one that goes on even when we forget to notice. And tonight, as the trees breathe softly around you, Let your breath join theirs. Let your body rest like a fallen leaf upon the earth. And dream as the forest dreams, slowly, deeply, eternally. Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the quiet ground you walk on every day? Not the soil, not the roots, but below that, in the cold, silent dark, where sunlight has never touched. If you could listen carefully enough, beyond the hum of cities and the sigh of the wind, you might hear it, a deep, secret movement, a slow, eternal pulse of water winding through stone. Invisible rivers that have been flowing for millions of years, cradling the memory of oceans long vanished. And tonight, we're going to follow that hidden current, drifting downward into the veins of the earth, where the planet itself dreams in liquid whispers. Picture yourself standing in a vast, moonlit meadow. The night air is still, cool against your skin. Around you, the grass ripples like silver silk in the faint wind. But beneath your feet, something stirs. You can almost feel it, a soft vibration, a distant murmur, as if the earth is breathing through its watery lungs. And then, imagine that you begin to sink gently, weightlessly into the ground, through the soil, past the roots and stones, through the dark layers of time, until you find yourself standing in a cavern of glistening rock. Water trickles down from above, each drop echoing like a heartbeat in the silence. Down here, beneath the world we know, there are rivers that never see the sky. They flow through cracks in the bedrock, carving their way over millennia. They carry not only water, but memory, traces of ancient rain, minerals from forgotten mountains, even the chemical fingerprints of distant oceans. Some of the water you drink today may have fallen as rain thousands of years ago, sinking slowly into the earth, finding its way through limestone and shale until it joined these hidden currents. Down here, water becomes timeless. Scientists call them aquifers, vast, underground reservoirs that store more fresh water than all the lakes and rivers on the surface combined. Some are small and local, feeding wells and springs. Others stretch across continents. The Great Artesian Basin beneath Australia, the Ogalla Aquifer under North America, the Nubian Sandstone Aquifer beneath the Sahara, all of them connected like the veins of a sleeping giant, each pulse of flow shaping the planet in ways we rarely see. Imagine walking along one of these subterranean rivers. The air is cool and damp. The walls glisten with mineral light. You see crystals shimmering faintly in the glow of your lantern. The water moves silently, carrying traces of iron, calcium, salt. It smells faintly of stone and time. Every droplet has a history, a journey through clouds, through soil, through forgotten fractures of the world. It's a traveler, patient and endless, and in its patience lies the story of every living thing above it. Did you know that these hidden waters shape continents? When they rise and fall, mountains crumble, caves form, valleys shift, entire ecosystems are born because of the quiet movement below. Even deserts, those places of dry silence, are not truly lifeless. Beneath the dunes of the Sahara, rivers flow in darkness, relics of ancient lakes that once covered the land. Some scientists believe that the Nile itself was once guided by these buried flows. A river born not just from rain, but from the memory of rain. The earth remembers, always. And then there are the subterranean lakes, lying hundreds, sometimes thousands of meters below the surface. Sealed off from sunlight for millions of years, in Antarctica, beneath kilometers of ice, lies Lake Vostok, a vast, untouched world. Its water hasn't touched the air in 15 million years. Yet it teems with microbial life adapted to the darkness. Creatures that breathe chemicals instead of oxygen. Living proof that life finds a way even in the deepest sleep of the planet. Close your eyes. Imagine the sound of that buried water, not rushing, not roaring, but whispering, a low vibration, slow and ancient. Every drop in harmony with the heartbeat of the earth. It flows around obstacles patiently, carving stone not through strength, but through time. The way water shapes the world is the way patience shapes the soul, quietly, continuously, inevitably. Now, imagine you come upon a vast underground cathedral. The ceiling stretches high above, lined with stalactites, dripping with crystal tears, each drop forming a tiny, perfect sound, like the ticking of eternity. The floor is mirrored with still water, reflecting the ceiling's beauty so perfectly it's impossible to tell where the cave ends and the reflection begins. You stand there, surrounded by silence and symmetry, and realize you're inside one of Earth's oldest memories. These caves were born from the slow erosion of stone by ancient water, the same force that carved canyons and valleys, the same flow that once filled oceans and fed forests. And yet, the story of these hidden waters isn't only about beauty. It's also about balance. When we draw from these aquifers faster than they can refill, we drain the memory of the planet itself. The ground above begins to sink. The rivers on the surface shrink. The rhythm breaks, but still, beneath the surface, the deep water continues its patient work, slowly refilling, slowly healing. The earth always seeks equilibrium, no matter how far we drift from it. You crouch down beside the still water, dip your fingers into it. It's cold, startlingly cold, and yet, as the chill spreads through your hand, it feels grounding. This is water that has known the world far longer than you. It's seen the rise and fall of continents, the birth of species, the drift of ice ages. And still, it flows, quietly, endlessly, purposefully. There's a strange comfort in that, a reminder that even when everything above feels uncertain or chaotic, the deep currents of the world continue their calm and steady rhythm. Did you know that even earthquakes can set these hidden waters in motion? When the earth trembles, aquifers shift and breathe. Some ancient wells rise suddenly, releasing long-trapped air bubbles. Others sink, as if exhaling. The entire planet moves as one fluid body, stone and water, locked in a slow dance of creation and collapse. This isn't chaos, it's choreography. Each tremor, each flow, each rise and fall, part of a larger rhythm, the slow heartbeat of a living world. You begin to walk again through the cavern. The sound of dripping water echoes behind you like fading rain somewhere ahead. You see faint light, a shimmering glow that seems to come from nowhere. You follow it, and it leads you to an underground spring, its water perfectly clear, glowing faintly blue. You kneel beside it, and for a moment, the entire world feels hushed. This is the cradle of life itself, the same type of spring where life may have first begun. Billions of years ago, warm water, minerals, darkness, and time, the alchemy of existence, hidden from sight. yet shaping everything that lives. Above, forests breathe, clouds drift, rivers run, but all of them trace their origins back here to these unseen waters that cradle the earth from within. You are standing inside the bloodstream of the planet, listening to the flow that connects ocean to sky, mountain to desert, life to life. Every drop of rain that touches your skin begins its story here, and every tear that falls returns to it someday as you sit there. The soft rhythm of dripping water becomes a lullaby, each echo bouncing off the cavern walls in time with your breath. Inhale the scent of minerals and stone. Exhale the whisper of deep calm. You begin to feel as if you're dissolving into the flow itself, becoming part of it, not separate from the world, but woven into it like a single drop in an eternal river. The sound grows softer, the cavern darkens, and in that darkness there's peace, because you know somewhere below, always, water is moving, flowing, shaping, remembering, keeping the planet alive, keeping you connected to something vast and ancient, something steady and patient and endlessly kind. So, as your breathing slows and the echoes fade into silence, let yourself drift with the hidden current. Let your thoughts flow as gently as the water beneath the world. Because even when the surface feels restless, the depths remain calm, and somewhere far below, the earth is dreaming, and tonight you are dreaming with it. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, not about the stars, but about the space in between? That invisible sea of air that moves, hums, and shivers, yet you can't see it. It touches your skin, fills your lungs, carries your voice, and still, you almost never think about it. We live at the bottom of an invisible ocean, an ocean made of air, pressure, and breath, and tonight, we're going to drift through that unseen world, the sleeping sky that wraps around the earth like a blanket of dreams. Close your eyes, imagine yourself standing in an open field. The stars above stretch endlessly. The grass whispers softly in the faintest breeze. You can feel the night air moving over your skin, cool, alive, delicate. It feels empty, but it isn't. Every breath you take contains more molecules than there are stars in the galaxy, each one bouncing, colliding, dancing in a slow, invisible ballet. They move around you like a tide you cannot see, but one that never stops. The air is not still, even when the world feels quiet above you. Rivers of atmosphere flow across the planet. Jet streams race high in the sky, fast, fierce, and perfectly balanced. They move like serpents of wind, steering storms and carrying warmth from the equator to the poles. From sunrise to moonlight, the air never truly rests. It travels thousands of miles, crossing mountains, deserts, and seas, carrying the scent of one continent to another. Every breeze you feel tonight began somewhere far away, perhaps as warm air rising from the Pacific, all of it part of a grand, slow rhythm, the Earth's breath, the planet's own heartbeat in motion. Now imagine rising upward. Your feet leave the ground, and you drift gently into the air, higher and higher, past the treetops, past the rooftops, past the clouds. The world below fades into shadow, and you begin to see the atmosphere for what it is, layer upon layer of invisible wonder, each one with its own character, its own story. The lowest layer, the troposphere, is where you live. It holds nearly all the air, all the clouds, all the storms. Here, the air churns like waves in an unseen sea. Hot air rises, cold air sinks. Currents twist and fold into one another, creating the weather that we call life. Every raindrop, every gust, every calm evening breeze, all born from this restless layer. But as you rise beyond it, something strange happens. The world becomes still. The winds stretch into long, smooth rivers of motion, and the air turns thin and blue. You drift now through the stratosphere, where jet streams flow in ribbons of soundless speed. The ozone layer glows faintly beneath you, a shield of light protecting every breath below. It hums with invisible energy, filtering the sun's fierce radiation into something gentle. Here, the world feels serene, a balance between movement and peace. If you could listen closely enough, you'd hear a deep, endless hum, the resonance of air itself. Scientists call it infrasound, the Earth's voice. Too low for our ears to hear, yet it's always there, vibrating softly through the air and into your bones. Now picture the clouds, not just as white shapes in the sky, but as living entities made of countless tiny droplets, each one formed when a single grain of dust meets a wisp of water vapor. They gather, merge, grow heavy, and when they can hold no more, they fall, a slow surrender that becomes rain. Did you know that clouds can live for days, sometimes weeks, traveling thousands of miles, changing shape, evaporating, reforming, whispering the story of water back to the land? Each one an artist, painting the mood of the sky. Their patterns, cirrus, cumulus, stratus, are like brushstrokes on an endless canvas. The art of the air drawn in light. You float higher still through thin, silvery wisps of cirrus clouds, until the air begins to shimmer with faint blue light. This is the edge of the mesosphere, where shooting stars burn. Every streak of light you see in the night sky, a grain of cosmic dust meeting the atmosphere, a silent spark of heat and brilliance. You're floating among them now, each meteor a whisper from another world. They come from ancient comets, from forgotten corners of the solar system, and as they fall, they become part of Earth's breath, each one turned to vapor, each one leaving a trace of stardust behind. And then, even higher, you reach the thermosphere, where the air is thin beyond measure, and yet it glows. Auroras ripple across the poles like silk curtains of green and violet light, the result of solar winds kissing our magnetic field. It's a cosmic dance, energy meeting atmosphere, creating beauty from collision. The sky isn't just air, it's a living interface between the earth and the stars, a breathing, glowing veil, a meeting place of energies and dreams. Now let's drift downward again, slowly, gently, through the layers of blue. You pass through clouds that glow silver in the moonlight, through winds that hum in invisible frequencies, and back toward the calm air that wraps around the sleeping world. The forests, the oceans, the deserts, all breathing in unison. Every leaf exhales oxygen, every ocean wave exhales mist, every living thing contributes to the atmosphere. It's not just around us, it's of us. Each breath you take returns to it, and every breath it gives sustains you. The cycle is perfect, so seamless that we forget it's happening, yet it connects everything from you to the clouds above, to the stars beyond. Did you know that even sound moves differently at night? When the air cools and settles, waves of sound travel farther, clearer. That's why the world feels quieter, and yet, somehow, closer. The night air wraps every sound gently, stretching it across the dark, the bark of a distant dog, the faint hum of wind through trees, all softened, all connected. The air is the thread that carries these sounds to your ear. It's the messenger of the world, the bridge between silence and story. And here's something more mysterious. The air remembers. Every molecule of oxygen you breathe tonight may once have passed through the lungs of ancient creatures, through the leaves of prehistoric ferns, through the breath of someone long gone. Air doesn't vanish, it cycles. It travels through time, through life, through memory. The air you exhale will one day reach another shore, another time, another dreamer. The sky is not empty, it's a library. Each molecule a page of the planet's long story. As you descend back toward the sleeping earth, the stars fade, the horizon glows softly blue. You feel gravity calling you home. The air thickens around you, the world becomes warm again. And when your feet touch the ground, you realize you're surrounded by movement. Every tree sways, every breeze hums, every sound vibrates. You inhale deeply, and suddenly the air feels sacred, not invisible, but alive. Each breath, a reminder of your connection to everything. Each exhale, a gift back to the rhythm of the sky. You lie down on soft grass. The wind brushes against your face above. The clouds drift lazily across the moon, and you feel it, the pulse of the atmosphere, slow, gentle, infinite. The same rhythm that moves oceans, shapes weather, and whispers through the night. It's the lullaby of the planet, the song of balance and motion. And as your eyelids grow heavy, you realize you're not just breathing air, you're breathing history, starlight and memory. So, breathe in deeply. Let the wind fill your lungs like the tide fills the shore. Let your thoughts float upward like clouds, and drift with them, weightless, timeless, calm. Because the sky above isn't far away, it's part of you. It moves through you, and as the earth turns beneath the stars, the atmosphere hums its soft, endless song, a song that says, "Rest now." The world is breathing with you. Have you ever wondered what silence truly sounds like? Not the silence of an empty room or a quiet night, but the silence of a place where even time seems afraid to move. That silence lives within the ice, where the earth has been whispering its secrets for millions of years, preserved in frozen air, in crystal lattice of water and light. Every snowflake that falls tonight carries a fragment of that story, and every glacier that sleeps beneath the moon remembers the shape of the ancient world. Close your eyes. Imagine standing at the edge of the Antarctic plateau. The air is so cold, it feels like glass against your skin. The sky stretches endlessly pale, blue, eternal. There are no trees, no animals, no sound. Only the faint hiss of wind brushing across ice that has not melted in centuries. The landscape glows faintly under the low sun. A sea of white ridges, frozen waves, and hollow valleys. Beneath your feet lies ice older than civilization, layer upon layer of snow pressed into crystal over millennia. Each layer a page in the Earth's diary, each flake a fragment of ancient air trapped in its heart. waiting patiently to be heard. Scientists call these frozen archives ice cores, cylinders of ancient ice drilled from deep within glaciers and ice sheets. When they hold them up to the light, they can see tiny bubbles, frozen pockets of atmosphere from long ago. Air that dinosaurs once breathed, air that knew the rhythm of forgotten climates. Within those bubbles are clues to the Earth's history, the rise and fall of temperatures, the balance of carbon and oxygen, the breath of volcanoes, the slow dance of the planet's climate across eons. It's as if the ice remembers every sigh the Earth has ever released and keeps it locked away in cold perfection. Now imagine walking deeper into the ice. The surface crunches beneath your boots. You pass frozen ridges that glint like glass in the moonlight, each one carved by centuries of wind and sun. Beneath you, the glacier groans softly, a deep, living sound, because even ice that seems motionless is alive. It moves, slow as thought, creeping forward inch by inch, carrying the weight of mountains toward the sea. Every crack, every shimmer, every echo of movement is the sound of time flowing at its slowest pace. Did you know that glaciers flow like rivers, only their current is measured not in seconds or hours, but in centuries? They sculpt valleys, carve fjords, shape continents. They grind rock into dust that becomes the soil of new lands. They create the rhythm of rebirth, and when they melt, their water returns to the ocean, becoming clouds, rain, and snow again. The same water that once froze beside mammoths might fall as rain on your window tonight. The Earth remembers nothing and forgets nothing. It simply moves in cycles too vast for us to see. You walk further now, the light fades, the temperature drops, and the air becomes sharp, thin, quiet. Ahead of you, a cave of ice begins to shimmer, walls glowing faintly blue. Like trapped moonlight, you step inside. The world feels still, suspended in cold beauty. Every surface sparkles with crystals, some as fine as frost, others as thick as glass. You can see faint ripples, frozen echoes of ancient storms. Each wave in the ice is a memory of snowfall long ago, preserved forever. The air feels heavy with time. If you place your hand against the wall, you can almost feel the heartbeat of the glacier. Deep below, where the ice meets stone, friction warms it just enough to flow. It's like a slow pulse, the planet's frozen blood moving through hidden veins. And yet, there's something haunting here. Because glaciers are not just archives, they're mirrors of balance. When the world warms too fast, they retreat, they melt, and they release their memories, not just water, but the air of forgotten ages. Carbon dioxide trapped for tens of thousands of years escapes, joining the modern atmosphere once again. It's as if the past exhales, and the planet remembers too much, too soon. Picture this. A single snowflake falls. It lands softly atop billions of others. Each flake unique, a hexagonal masterpiece born from air and vapor. They fuse, compress, and vanish into the vastness. But their essence remains. Their form changes. Their story endures, and over centuries, they become ice so dense, light can no longer escape it easily. That's why glaciers glow blue, because only the deepest, purest wavelengths can pass through. Every shade of blue you see in ice is the color of time made visible. Did you know that the oldest ice ever found on Earth is over 2.7 million years old? It holds air from a time before humans existed, before our languages, before our dreams, before even the great glaciers of the Ice Age took shape. It's a fragment of the planet's ancient breath, a whisper from a time when the world was still deciding what it would become. When scientists melt that ice and study its air, they can measure the tiniest traces of carbon dioxide, the faintest isotopes of oxygen, and from that, they can read the temperature of the Earth long ago. They can see the rhythm of ice ages, the pulse of freezing and thawing, the rise and fall of oceans, the breathing of the planet itself. You stand there, watching frost swirl around your breath, and for a moment, you realize you are exhaling ancient air, too. The oxygen in your lungs was once part of these frozen worlds, once breathed by forests that no longer exist, once trapped in ice and released again. Everything is recycled, reborn, remembered. There is no end, only change. The ice, the water, the air, they are not separate things. They are one eternal story told in different forms. Now imagine lying down on the ice, your back against the frozen ground, your eyes gazing upward into the vast, pale sky. You can feel the deep hum of the glacier beneath you, the sound of movement so slow it feels like stillness. Your heartbeat aligns with it, two rhythms in perfect sync. Above, faint ribbons of aurora dance in the atmosphere, their green and violet light reflected faintly across the endless snow. And in that shimmering stillness, you sense it. The planet is not asleep. It's dreaming. Every glacier is part of that dream. A memory the Earth refuses to forget. A frozen echo of rain that fell before memory began. And as the stars spin overhead, you understand something deeper. The ice isn't cold, it's calm, it's patient, ancient, kind. It doesn't hurry to melt or move, it simply is, holding everything it has seen until the world is ready to remember. So, as you breathe softly, let the chill of the air quiet your mind. Let the stillness of the ice steady your thoughts, because beneath the noise of life, there is always a frozen heart beating slowly, a memory of balance, a rhythm of calm, the Earth dreaming in crystal, and you, a part of that dream, drifting through time, weightless, eternal, peaceful. The glacier hums softly beneath you, the stars shimmer above, and the ancient ice, the frozen breath of the world, keeps its secrets safe for another night. Have you ever wondered how silence can roar? Not the silence of calm nights or quiet rooms, but a silence so vast that it hums, a silence that feels alive, ancient, almost aware of you. That silence belongs to the desert, where time is not measured in hours, but in shadows that crawl across dunes, and where every grain of sand has drifted through millions of years, carrying memories of oceans, storms, and stars. You might think of the desert as empty, a barren place, stripped of sound, color, and life. But that emptiness is only an illusion, because beneath every quiet horizon, the Earth is breathing. Now close your eyes. Picture yourself standing alone beneath a molten sky. The air is thick with warmth. The ground glows gold beneath your feet, and waves of sand stretch endlessly in every direction, shifting and rippling like an ocean frozen mid-motion. The wind moves softly at first, a whisper, a sigh, then builds into a deep, rhythmic pulse. It moves the dunes like slow tides. The sunlight bends, turning the horizon into a mirage of liquid light. The heat dances on the edge of vision, making the world seem alive, breathing, shimmering, almost dreaming. This is the great paradox of the desert. It looks still, yet it's constantly changing. Every grain of sand you see has been moved thousands of times by winds that have circled the planet, by storms that once swept across seas, by forces invisible yet eternal. What you're standing on now was once a riverbed, a forest floor, the bottom of an ocean. The desert is not dead. It's a memory of transformation, a reminder that even silence has motion. Did you know that deserts cover more than 1/3 of our planet? They stretch across continents, from the Sahara in Africa to the Atacama in South America, from the Arabian sands to the icy deserts of Antarctica. Each is different, but all share one thing: a profound, meditative stillness. Scientists call these regions arid ecosystems, but those words hardly do them justice. They are the planet's lungs of silence, vast spaces that breathe slowly, balancing the rhythm of the world. Beneath your feet, the sand isn't lifeless. It's alive in its own quiet way. Microbes live in the spaces between grains, tiny, resilient forms of life that survive where almost nothing else can. At night, when the temperature drops and the air cools, these microscopic creatures awaken, feeding, reproducing, and continuing a hidden cycle of existence that's lasted for millions of years. Even in the driest corners of the world, life whispers softly, refusing to end. But the true heart of the desert beats below the surface. Far beneath the dunes lie ancient aquifers, vast oceans trapped underground, water so old it has never seen the sky. Some of it fell as rain during the Ice Age, seeping deep into stone and sand, waiting patiently, untouched for tens of thousands of years. It's strange to think, beneath this endless dryness lies the quiet promise of water, sleeping, hidden, eternal. The wind carries a low hum, a note so deep it almost vibrates in your bones. It's the sound of sand moving billions of grains, sliding over one another, a music of friction and time. Scientists call these singing dunes. Some deserts literally sing. When the wind is just right, the dunes produce deep, resonant tones, a natural symphony that echoes across miles. The song can last for minutes, sometimes hours. It's the earth's voice, low, mysterious, ancient, telling stories no one remembers anymore. Have you ever noticed how the desert sky looks larger than anywhere else? During the day, it's a dome of blinding light, but when night falls, it transforms into infinity. The stars come alive, millions of them, sharp and close, as if you could reach out and touch them. In the desert, there are no cities, no noise, no clouds of pollution to dim the cosmos. The Milky Way stretches across the sky like a frozen river of fire. Under that vast canopy, you can feel how small you truly are, and yet how connected. The desert teaches a strange truth. Silence isn't emptiness, it's presence. It's the sound of everything existing without needing to speak. Every gust of wind, every shifting dune, every shadow, they are all part of a conversation too slow for human time. To walk in the desert is to step into that rhythm, to match your heartbeat to the turning of the earth itself. Did you know that scientists studying desert ecosystems often compare the flow of sand to the flow of fluids? It behaves like water, forming waves, channels, even ripples, as if it remembers the ocean it once was. There's something poetic in that dry land still moves like the sea. It reminds us that change never truly stops. It only slows down long enough for us to notice. Now, imagine sitting atop a high dune as night begins to fall. The sky fades from gold to violet, then to deep blue. The wind softens, the air cools, and the sand beneath you still radiates warmth, a memory of the sun. In the distance, you can hear faint rustles, the soft movements of nocturnal life awakening. A desert fox emerging from its den, a snake gliding silently across the sand, an owl turning its head toward the stars. The desert may sleep by day, but at night it breathes, and above all of it, the silence thickens, not empty, but full of meaning. It's the kind of silence that holds answers. If you listen long enough, you begin to realize that this landscape isn't lifeless, it's patient. Everything that lives here has learned the art of stillness, to move only when necessary, to conserve energy, to survive by listening rather than shouting. Perhaps the desert's greatest lesson is that peace isn't the absence of noise, it's the mastery of waiting. You lie back on the sand, feeling the warmth fade from your skin. The grains cling gently to your fingertips, soft as memory. Above you, the stars burn with quiet intensity. The air smells faintly of minerals and time. And as your breathing slows, you feel it, a faint pulse beneath you, like a heartbeat deep inside the earth. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but it's there, the rhythm of shifting sands, the pulse of the planet turning beneath your body. In this moment, you are not separate from it. You are the desert. You are the silence. You are the wind, carving its slow patterns through time. And somewhere deep inside that stillness, you begin to understand, nothing in nature is truly still. Everything, even the silence, moves. It just moves too slowly for us to see. So breathe deeply, let the air fill you, warm, dry, ancient. Let the soundless music of the dunes quiet your thoughts. Because here, under the infinite desert sky, there is no rush, no past, no future, only this endless now. And the soft hum of eternity beneath your feet. The desert doesn't speak, but it listens, and tonight you're listening with it to the secret pulse of the earth, steady, ageless, and deeply, beautifully alive.